In this lesson, we're going to set ourselves the challenge of creating a portrait using one single line only and not taking the pen or pastel away from the paper. Materials you will need are a simple pen and paper to first practice with, a set of watercolours, a large paintbrush, a light coloured pastel such as peach, white or yellow, a water pot and some fairly thick sketchbook paper. First start with a 1-minute warm-up. Draw a face in 1 minute without taking your pen away from the paper. It's a good idea to have a reference photo or a picture of somebody in front of you to actually go from. So for me, I'm actually having a reference image, but you can't see it here on my table. I'm just loosely working from that. And the real challenge is keeping that pastel, that oil pastel, on the paper without lifting it up at any stage. So for me, it's quite simple because I've done this before and I'm just doing a very simple line drawing. And if you need to skip from one face feature to the other, for example, from the mouth to the nose, you can connect the lines by thinking about the contours of the shadows. So for example, on the top lip here, then I would continue that with a single line and go up to the nose. And then from the nose, that will go up to the other eye and then the eyebrow and so on. Single line drawing, or also known as continuous line drawing or blind object line drawing, is really a simple way to change the style of your sketches. The technique demands that you draw only one line on your page. This means that you must draw your entire subject with one continuous line, only lifting your pen when your sketch is complete. Of course, you will be challenged as lines double back on themselves and you will have to draw lines where you would prefer blank space. But this is the point, to draw in a style out of your normal comfort zone. This technique often helps art students loosen up and understand their subjects. Line drawings were famously used by the artists such as Klee and Pablo Picasso. A famous quote by the artist Klee is, "A drawing is simply a line going for a walk." What do you think about this quote and how do you think it reflects in the artist's work? Finally, to finish our creation, you need to choose the darkest colour that you can think of. Here I'm just using a black. You could choose a dark purple, a blue, as long as it is dark in contrast to the light pastel or crayon that you have used, this will work. Also, it's important to mention that only watercolour will work when trying to get this resist effect, as you can see in my demonstration to the left. My demonstration to the right, I used acrylics and it's a much thicker paint, as you can see, and the oil pastel does not really shine through. Here is an example of another single line drawing I made earlier with blended colour background. You could be creative and enjoy exploring this art activity using a variety of different colours. As long as you remember to contrast your pastel and painted background with dark and light colours, this will work.